Hello, everybody. We're here today to talk about the clean water crisis around the world and in Madagascar. And I'm here alongside my colleagues Kathleen and Shishini, and we are proud to be able to represent Wilfred Laurier University at the 2020 Map the System Canadian Finals. When you think about the top, most pressing issues facing humanity, you might say climate change, poverty, or a pandemic like the coronavirus. And while those are all significant challenges, we would say that the number one issue facing the world is access to safe, clean drinking water, a basic necessity that is hard to come by for hundreds of millions of people across the world.
So why focus on the water crisis? With the increase of population and climate change, there's a high chance of disasters like floods, oil spills, and earthquakes happening that will contaminate water. If we help provide access to clean water, not only are we going to save significant lives, but we are also going to gain knowledge and discover new ways on how to evenly distribute, preserve, and access clean water when disasters occur. Having access to clean water also prevents diseases, undiscovered diseases that may even prevent epidemic. In addition, having access to clean water has direct and indirect links to an improved economy because there will be healthier kids that are able to go to school.
Almost all countries, starting from underdeveloped countries like Madagascar to well-developed countries like Canada, currently faces this issue. 1 million people die each year from water and sanitation-related diseases. Also, a shocking 80% of the diseases in developing countries are linked with poor water and sanitation conditions. In low and middle-income countries, not just households but also workplaces, schools, and health institutions lack water and sanitation facilities. This affects many economical aspects, such as education, healthcare, and productivity, which leads to billions of dollars of losses each year globally.
Why did we choose to specifically focus on Madagascar in our research? Well, there's many reasons. And first of all, it's because Madagascar's water crisis situation is as bad as any country in the world, with 88% of the Malagasy people lacking proper and reliable access to clean drinking water. And with water being such a basic physiological need just to survive, the lack of clean drinking water in Madagascar has exacerbated many other issues, including economic development and access to education. We also focused on Madagascar because of how unique and isolated it is as a country. Many countries struggling with clean water are located in sub-Saharan Africa or South Asia, neighbored by several other countries and with easier access to NGO resources and support. But Madagascar is all alone, isolated in the southern Indian Ocean and far away from help, with possibly one of the most unique ecosystems on Earth, which can either be used to their advantage or disadvantage. And lastly, we wanted to learn how different key stakeholders would work together in an isolated country like Madagascar.
4 major NGOs helping Madagascar, and all of them are successful but only to a certain degree. Number 1, WaterAid has brought clean water to the citizens. However, exporting clean water from one country to another is not efficient. Number 2, the USAID had educated their communities on proper hygiene. However, access to clean water is needed in order to implement these proper hygiene. Number 3, UNICEF had even installed pipelines. However, rural parts of Madagascar have very poor infrastructure that installing a pipeline would be very difficult. And number 4, the WHO has collaborated with the government to develop the National WASH program. We figured that having Madagascar work with the NGOs is like outsourcing the problem, and that the real issue lies in the government not taking their water crisis seriously. Therefore, to help their water crisis is to address the government to invest in their infrastructure and imposing regulations. In addition, help Madagascar utilize their own natural resources to create a solution such as the Work-It Tower.
Based on our research, we identified some major gaps in the system that act as obstacles to the current solutions developed. Lack of funding, lack of connection to rural areas, and being isolated as an island are the key reasons why this problem is persistent in Madagascar, and we learned several lessons through analyzing those gaps. Due to the existence of chronic poverty in the country, implementation of costly projects is ineffective because the Malagasy government cannot fund those projects. Projects like building tap lines consume a lot of funds and time, especially in rural parts of Madagascar, because those areas have severe infrastructure deficits and poor transport links. Investing in physical storage is also inefficient because some parts of Madagascar face climatic challenges like cyclones very often. We have understood that based on the severity of this issue in the country, an urgent step needs to be taken, at least to provide a temporary solution to the communities that are most affected, and the government of Madagascar should invest in the long-term infrastructure developments with the help of NGOs.
We all need clean water, but access to clean water depends on us.